Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 28. And listen, I got a question for you today. Are you selfish? I know you're probably like, why would I say that? But just stick with me for a second, because this is going to be one of the most impactful episodes if you really take it to heart. So, the question is, ask yourself, are you selfish? And I have to ask myself this often because I believe that many of us are playing too small, right? You're not thinking big enough. See, if you're just living and thinking as far as uh, just having enough for you, then you're not in a position where you're able to bless other people on a major scale, on a major level. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's steps and there's levels, and you start somewhere. But just to stick with me, it's like we're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. I'll say that again. We're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So, like, let me just give you a little bit of a food for thought. You either have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset. And I'm gonna just tell you, it takes a little while to move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. I still find myself having to think abundance instead of scarcity, right? Because when you've been programmed all your life since you were younger to think one way, and now all of a sudden you want to just interrupt and change it to another way. It takes time to develop that. I mean, you can't have 30 years of programming, 20 years of programming, and then fix it in 2 years. It doesn't work that way. So I get it, but what I want you to do, even today or tomorrow, I want you to consciously be aware and think about situations that come up throughout the day, and think, am I having a scarcity mindset or am I having an abundance mindset? Right? So when someone says, "Hey, let's do this," and you start you're scrunching your shoulders down and holding your head down and saying, "I can't." I want you to, stick up with a Superman posture, right? And then start to think the abundance mindset. So for instance, I mean, yes, you can get the house, but why not have the block, right? You could have the job, but why not own the company? You could have the girlfriend or the boyfriend, but why not have the family? Let's think, say yes and then figure it out. You may not know how you're going to make it happen. You may not even know where to start, but you have to have that abundance mindset, because otherwise, a couple things are happening. Not only are you not living the calling and the gift that you have, but you're diminishing someone else from experiencing it. Like when you show up, you're doing something not just for you, but you're doing something for other people. And when you see it that way, it's like, hold on, how can I not tell my story? Because if I don't tell my story, I'm stopping someone else from getting a testimony on the other side of it. Does that make sense? Your test was for a reason. The only way you're able to share your testimony is so someone else can get through their test, right? So again, we're not thinking big enough. We have to think bigger. The biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. And you all probably have heard this quote from Marianne Williamson. And let me just say this: I'm a part of a community of entrepreneurs, and we have like a book of the month. And so we're constantly reading books together, and we're talking about it and dissecting it. And I love that because um, you know, most people don't read at all anyway, outside of, high school or college. And so then when you have the community where you're reading good things that can help you grow, and then you have an opportunity to kind of dig deeper into that, it just makes it so much more powerful. So we've all heard this, of course, but I just wanted to read a little bit of it. You heard Marianne Williamson. in her poem, her quote, and it says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you." And let me just stop there because, like if we continue to shrink ourselves, then we're not allowing other people, we're not shining our light for other people to grow. Does that make sense? So we have to continue to be beams of light in the world. And again, if we just, you know, think about ourselves and think about, like, okay, like I'll give you an example. So let's just say that you are afraid to do a Facebook Live, but you know that it's going to help impact the world. Well, because you're afraid to do that, you're stopping someone else from getting the blessing on the other end that really needs to hear that Facebook Live. You get what I'm saying? And I've had to experience this many times. I mean, even this podcast alone is like wow because like I said on other episodes, I was the one that didn't want to talk. I was the one that didn't want to be out front, but I realized that I was playing small. I realized that I was being selfish because I was letting my little mindset things in my head about, however I might have felt, I was letting that get in the way of the people that could be blessed in the process, right? And so this is just some powerful stuff. I hope you guys are catching this. I hope that you take it to heart because I really think it's going to liberate you. And again, go throughout the day and I just want you to think, is this moving me more towards scarcity or is this moving me more toward abundance? I'll give you like an example of if I can think of something that I might do sometimes and I have to remind myself, like if I have something that I need to, let's just say I have something that I need to invest in or something that I need to do. And instead of looking at the price, look at the value. Look at what you're going to get for it, right? Look at who you're going to become as a result of it, right? And so like don't let that stinking thinking start to sink in and you start moving toward scarcity. You gotta move toward abundance. You gotta move toward that place where you're operating in your gift, you're operating in your calling, you are blessing others, and you're sacrificially maybe you're afraid to do it. Maybe you don't know how to do it. Maybe you have some roadblocks that would get in the way, but you got to blow past all that stuff because otherwise, again, you're the reason why someone else is not going to be free. And obviously, this podcast is all about freedom, right? And man, the liberation you will have when you say yes, and then you just figure it out. The biggest thing you could do is tell the world that you're going to do it, announce it from the mountaintop, and now you got to go do it. Now you got to just go figure it out. And I'm telling you, things will start to align themselves. Things will fall into place the way they're supposed to be because you made the decision. You said, I'm going to give the death to all other the death to all other scenarios, and I'm going to actually go out there and do it. I'm actually going to go out there and make it happen. So listen, again, this is a powerful, and I hope you guys don't, stay in that selfishness, right? We have to go out there and bless other people in a major way because you deserve it and so do they. So I hope you guys got some value from this. I love all the interaction and all the things that you guys continue to pour out and share. And so, hey, if you know that someone could use this lesson and use this podcast, share it with them. And we appreciate the 5 stars that you continue to give on the podcast, and we appreciate you for listening. God bless you all, and take care. See you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value, and definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.